Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading Satellite Office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Thursday, September the 27th, 2012, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary. We want to first start by taking a look to see how the indices closed here. The Dow Jones closed up 72.46, the NASDAQ closed up 42.90, and the S&P 500 closed up 13.83. If we take a look at the breadth today, we had 4,645 issues advancing. We had 1,568 issues declining. We had 278 issues making new highs. And we had 30 issues making new lows on the NYSE, NASDAQ, and the AMEX. Pretty much bullish across the whole board in most sectors. In most sectors, weakest sector today was the utilities, which makes sense that if the market was up and people are actually looking to buy this dip and put money to work, they're going to be selling the utilities and buying the better growth stocks and the stocks that the stimulus money, when it does start working in the system, those stocks will start advancing. All right, now I want to start by taking a look at the ES here. The ES did close up. The ES did close up off the lows here. We opened up at 1427.50. That was, of course, after 416 on yesterday's close here. If we take a look at the intraday time frame on the ES opened up today at 9:30 at 1433.50, and we closed today at 1441.25. So roughly about 7 points, 6.5 points off the from the open. But we hit a low today, okay, of 1429.75, and we hit a high today of 1444.50. So bulls were definitely in control today, as you can see from the candlestick here on the daily chart. One thing that I'll be looking for going forward is this prior, I don't have to zoom in for that, is this prior resistance that we had right here that we tracked to you guys, all right, that hopefully if you guys are watching these videos, all right, you guys pay attention to the fact that we said, look, if we see a change in characteristics up here, this could be a failed breakout. Okay, so what happened? We broke down yesterday. We broke down on Tuesday below our channel line, which, you know, obviously right here, we were comparing it to this little prior choppy channel that we had right here, where they were shaking people out to the top side and to the bottom side. Shake them out to the top side, shake them out to the bottom side, then we finally broke out. Well, same thing here, right? Remember I told you guys this a couple days ago? Top side shakeout, bottom side shakeout, top side shakeout, chopping people up. Then we finally had some sellers come in, especially we had the news come out over in Greece when the media and everybody showing the rights and stuff on TV. People just started selling equities. And look, it was a buying opportunity because remember, we still have this flag pattern right here. All right, so this is still an area of support, as you guys can see here. Okay, so a nice little buy the dip action this morning. All right, some levels that we had on watch this morning on the ES was 1430, 14. Like I said, 1429.75 was the exact low. So our support one level held immediately in the first hour of trading, actually first 2 hours of trading or so, and then we just went out to the races from there. So in any case here, what I will be watching for tomorrow is to see if we could get back above this key channel line that we've been watching here, this little zone, and that will be around, say that this is going to be around 1445. If we hold above 1445 tomorrow and buyers step in again aggressively, we can trade all the way back up towards this next channel line around here around 1450, and the top of that trend line, all right, that we got to watch is going to be around this area right here. Okay, so in essence, if we do break back above this bottom support, remember it's going to act as resistance on this side, the ES could trade all the way back up towards this upper resistance channel that I have on my system, okay, which lines up with 1457. That can come by sometime mid next week, early next week. We'll have to wait and see. All right, now a lot of you home gamers watch the SPY, so let's take a look at the SPY. And on the SPY, all right, we can see that we did get that nice little sell-off off that trend line that we highlighted to you guys. All right, and I keep on saying highlight to you guys because I want to make sure you guys are watching the videos and that you guys are subscribing to the YouTube videos, because we do have some great analysis here. You guys can see us in action if you go to our chat room that we have, which is mywallstreettv.com, and type in the password SMART. You can also go to wallstreettrading.com and see everything that we have on the website. There's some good stuff, guys. Go check it out. So anyways, we have the SPY came back towards the support area. We didn't get an official back test of the support. Remember, prior resistance becomes support. Okay. So people that bought actually the closes yesterday was they made out pretty well today as they gapped up and we got the continuation move. Now reference level to work off of is going to be yesterday's low on the SPY around 142.95. All right, today's highs is going to be the reference level to watch for a move back high. If we do break out to above today's highs, the next level is going to be back up here towards 146, and we closed at 144.64. SPY was up 0.94%, close to 1% there. Okay, so that's how the SPY is looking. Let me put the studies back on the chart. We have we recaptured the 20-day exponential and simple moving average on the daily time frame. Let's take a look at the Qs. All right, the Qs are back above our prior resistance support here, which was 68.64. Until we break below 67.41, this area right here, you really can't get bearish on the Qs at all. And we also still have this rising 50-day exponential and simple moving average down here around 67.41. So let me move this trend line back up towards the top, and our area that we want to watch for the Qs to continue in is this area right here, of course, towards the 69.75 area. Okay, 70 and 70.50. Taking a look at the IWM. All right, the IWM pulled back here to this little support trend line that we have around the 83.31 level. Okay, IWM can still pull back towards 82 and get an official back test. Remember of this prior, remember this trend line right here, this little area was prior resistance. It became support once we broke above it right here, which remember we caught this move pretty good with the TNA calls when that happened. And if we could hold above 83, that would be even better, because now this little area of resistance, we're putting in like a higher low off that resistance zone that we had before prior. So reference level to watch on the IWM is yesterday's lows around 82.84. Right to the top side, we got to get back above 84.50, and that'll have me as a happy camper if we get above 84.50 and trade back up towards 85 and then 86 and then this 87 area. Okay, that's the IWM. Let's take a look at the volatility index here. Right, the volatility index did trade up towards that upper trend line up there towards that 17. We still remain in this little downward bullish channel that eventually, when it does happen, is going to break to the top side. But right now, in the meantime, they keep on doing the same thing that they have been doing, which is selling it near the top of the channel, buying it near the bottom. We did highlight the fact that since the volatility index, the VIX, did not trade down, all right, towards this bottom trend line right here, that the VIX was basically catching a held bid here on the daily time frame, and people were actually buying volatility, because if the volatility was weak, when the market was trading sideways, it's kind of up, the VIX would have came down here. All right, so people were basically buying protection, and that worked out well for those people. But now, volatility is coming out the market, and we're still watching this key reference level below 1331, because then definitely if we break below that level down there, 1331, we could trade back down towards 11, and that move below 1331 with volatility coming out the market is going to make a nice up move in the markets. That's still coming together right now. We'll keep you guys posted on that. But in the meantime, look for volatility index if it continues with the downside pressure it had today to go back down towards the 1331 level. Okay, let's take a look at the U.S. dollar. All right, the U.S. dollar was able to fight its way back inside of this little downward channel that we've been tracking on it here. All right, it still remains below all the moving averages. And, if it wants to trade higher, it's going to have some resistance around this 80, 50 area from the upper trend line and then from this prior support that was around 80.67 or so. All right, however, we do remain below a declining 20 EMA and 20 SMA on the daily time frame, which we reversed off of there yesterday and today. So, therefore, this could be a reference level that people are probably looking to short the U.S. dollar to write it right back down to the lows. As we did have some nice buying pressure in GLD. Let's go ahead and punch up the GLD here real quick. GLD. Now, see, this is a nasty shakeout right here, guys. This is just a nasty shakeout. Why? Because, look, everybody that bought last week, all right, gold gap down yesterday, they probably sold their gold position. And, and people that were looking to pick up gold against the rising 20-day simple moving average and exponential moving average on the daily time frame around 168, scooped their shares right up, and now it's back to where they bought it at. So hopefully you're not one of the people that got shaken out on that move. And, if you are, well, get back in the game. That happens sometimes. They'll shake you out, just to get just to get rid of some weak holders there. So anyway, the next major level to watch on the GLD is around this 174 area, 175. You can see we recaptured the 8 EMA and 8 SMA, and this is still like a bull flag pattern setting up here. All right, excluding the action that we had yesterday. right here, which was like a big shake and bake action right there, because now we're back above this 170 level. So as long as the GLD can hold above 170 and consolidate between 170 and this 173 half area, we're just building up steam for another move higher. If we take a look at the GDX, which we nailed the GDX for the breakout when it broke out of our little downward channel here. All right, and yeah, that downward trend line was right here. Okay, you guys can watch our previous videos to kind of check what we've been doing and how we've been trading the markets. So we broke that trend line. I believe we bought the Newmont mining calls. We bought the Newmont mining around 49 and some change right here. 3 weeks ago on that Friday? 1, 2, 3, like 4 weeks ago on that Friday. And so far the gold miners have been doing pretty well. So for you swing traders at home or you position traders, you guys should still be in that. That's working out pretty well for you guys. And now the gold miners GDX looks to go back towards the highs around 55.25. Let's take a look at silver. I'm going to start looking at silver now because I really don't trade silver, but silver is definitely picking up some steam with the gold. And SLV breaking out over 134 could make it, could have it get a nice move up towards 136. Right, reference level you want to be working off of is yesterday's lows around 32, 36, or even just in general this 32 area. All right, what else do I want to take a look? Let's take a look at crude oil. I want to start by taking a look at crude oil futures. All right, crude oil futures were trading pretty nice last week, 2 weeks ago, till they broke out, had a fake breakout over 98. There's something with probably they released some special reserves or something like that. Not sure. Either way, crude oil got dumped. All right, and until it really gets back above 94, all right, you want to be kind of neutral to bearish on crude oil. Until the meantime, based on a technical basis, you could say, because we have to get it back. We have to get back above this 94 level. Okay, and then we get back above 94, then we're looking at 98, then we're looking back at this 100, 101 area, or I should say $142 a barrel. $100.42 a barrel. Excuse me. It's been a long day, people. All right, so what do I want to take a look at now? I want to take a look at some key stocks that everybody's been watching. Of course, Google. Google continues to be a strong stock. All right, got bought up on the dip today. Still trending high. Still trending pretty strong on the moving averages there. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple, we nailed this Apple to the short side with the puts. All right, I kind of was sleeping today, so I didn't really get to nail it to the long side off the support area that we have down here. But we did nail the Apple put weekly 675s, which went well up over 300% in a matter of 2 days from the little short sale that we did on Tuesday. Actually, we did it on Monday, added some more on Tuesday, and that worked out pretty well. And people in the chat room made a decent amount of money on that. Okay, Amazon. Amazon, a strong stock as well. Still trending up pretty nice here. Has some nice support around the 250 area. I would say use yesterday's low as a reference. That's around 248.14. And then we have the highs up here, the all-time highs around 264.25. Let's take a look at ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil has been a nice little trending stock as well. Kind of slowing down up here, a little bit choppy. Still looks constructive. Take a look at CVX. CVX, made all-time highs last week, and right now is just consolidating a bit against this 116 and this 118.50. All right, so $2.50 consolidation range going on in that stock for the past couple of days here, and it's like that. All right, so RIM. All right, RIM was another trade that some traders are watching in the chat room today. I actually purchased a RIM options right at the close, just because I was looking at RIM. Okay, it's been down a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if they surprise the street, and that's exactly what they did. The stock's trading like at 8 and some change. I bought the $7 weekly calls, and I'm going to be looking to dump those tomorrow on the open, and some traders in the chat room were able to pick that up. So if you guys have not been to the chat room is mywallstreettv.com. Get in there, check us out. Password is SMART. Make sure you go to our website, wallstreettrading.com. If you're located in the South Florida area, go to meetup.com and join our Wall Street Trading Network South Florida. All right, I'm doing meetups at the universities, at the local community colleges, meeting with people that are interested in trading, people that are interested in taking our education courses. We have a lot of stuff going on in the loop, guys. Make sure you get involved. I'll catch you guys tomorrow bright and early in the chat room, 8:30. Have a great night, guys. Later.